drunken debauchery scene around here, I guess. I love it. It's one of the few places that has culture, I think, in Tampa Bay. Like one of the few places. It's amazing. So, and I'm really happy to be like a part of it. What's going on? I'm Jason Eli. I'm a visual artist living in Tampa, Florida. Was born and raised here in the Tampa Bay area and moved out to Arizona for 6 years and DJ'd and promoted shows and produced electronic music for a while. Ended up becoming a painter about 5 years ago and just moved back to the Tampa Bay area again to kind of like be a part of the local scene and grow as an artist in a larger city. So that's where our boss goes. He was telling me about that one day. He's like, you ever check out Green Guana? Like, yeah.
Oh. So are those studio windows there on the front?
That's where the bathroom is if you need to go. Yeah, perfect. I ended up moving out to Arizona, and when I was out there, I met this guy who was my roommate, and I kept telling him like over and over again, I was just always like, I really want to paint, like I would love to paint sometime, that seems like a really cool thing to do, blah, blah, blah. And finally out of frustration one day, he came into my my bedroom and he threw down a big like box of paint and some canvas and was just like, if you don't paint now, he's like, I never want to hear you talk about it ever again because you're ridiculous. And I ended up painting that day, and then it like grabbed me. It was all of a sudden just all the time painting. Like from then on, it was like it's just my calling. So this is my first a studio that's like separate from my home kind of deal. Usually I paint my bedroom, wherever I'm at, most convenient kind of deal, or outside or whatever. So to have a space like this that's my own is really like game changing for me, really next level for me. So yeah, so I work at a local retailer and I do data integrity. I work during the week. It's like 40 hours a week at like a day job. But I think it's been really good for me because it puts things in perspective and it keeps me kind of motivated doing the things that I love, because I have a constant reminder every day, to do my best and to get myself out of the current situation I'm in. So. Let's start with this one. This is actually one of the first ones I used my new kind of technique with. It's called the Soothsayer. It sat for a long period of time. It was like half finished. I ended up taking my markers and kind of working with it like later on. I have always been kind of like really interested in magic and occultism and those sorts of things since I moved out west. And this is just kind of like a piece about that. Like it just ended up being like this kind of telepathic kind of like genie type person. So. Then this is Worrywart, and Worrywart is actually one of my more recent ones that I did. So he's this being that basically he's this guy that's like he wants to make friends. He's a very friendly guy, but he worries, and when he has anxiety, he worries. He freaks out everybody around him. So he ends up being lonely all the time. It just doesn't work out because every time he comes into a room, his energy comes out and it freaks everybody out. So that, you know, in comparison to real life, I feel like that's something that we all do as human beings. We don't realize how our energy like affects one another. You know, so whether you're mad or upset or anxious or whatever have you, it's like when you walk into a room, you affect the room. You know, and I think this is just kind of like a conversation about that. You know. And this is one of my more recent ones. It actually doesn't really have a name. I've been calling it Unforeseen Awe. This one, I really like it a lot because I actually tried like a new technique with it, with the background and stuff. But it's basically a piece like, you know, it's like that moment where you get surprised by something. You know, it's like suddenly you're just like, wow, that's like so like amazing. You know, it's like all of a sudden it hits you. And so this is kind of like a still of like that impact, like that moment of impact of that emotion. You know? Currently, I've been using just acrylics, and I love pen and ink. Over the last about year and a half or so, I kind of transitioned to this period where I'm using acrylics, but then I'm also I've married in my drawing ability, which is completely different from my painting style. And the two kind of modalities have harmonized together quite nicely. And I feel like it's my strongest work that I've ever done because it enables me to use like all of my skill sets in one piece of work. For now, like I've been going through a series that's all like kind of portraits and stuff, but they're like more surreal, abstract kind of portrait series. And I never really, you know, I never know what I'm painting, kind of until I'm about, you know, a third or so of the way through it, you know, and then it's almost like when, you know, you're taking a picture and you focus your camera in on something, you know, it's like it's blurry and then it keeps getting sharper and sharper kind of, and then all of a sudden it clicks and I realize what I'm painting. I feel like to me, like I feel like my paintings are a direct kind of consequence to my life, and I think that they're little like capsules of my existence as a human. You know, like you know, whether something big or small is going on, it seems to always kind of stick to the canvas. Only as of recent, I've been doing. You know, I have this new project I'm working on right now that's very politically infused. I feel like that's kind of taking me in a new direction with my work than before. You know, whereas before, like it was just kind of emotional expression and kind of like a relaxer or something that kind of like that I just really love doing. Now it's like I feel like my work is kind of moving into a place where you know, there is a message. You know, like, you know, this one that I'm doing right now is about global economic injustice. That's something I feel very strongly about. And so to have the opportunity to engage that topic in an artistic, creative way is like huge to me. So I feel like that's truly like one of the only weapons that I have. I do intend on selling my work. It's my hope, you know, just to be able to have the ability to sustain my own life, have a home, have food, you know, shelter, you know, whatever. Like I don't have any grandiose plans of being, you know, some superstar or anything of that nature, you know. That would all be great and whatever have you, but I have no desire for that, you know. My hope is that I connect to the most people I possibly can with my work and move and influence people, change people, you know, like at least, you know, if you come through my work in somewhere, I guess my hope that it makes you at least think or something, you know, have a good conversation or something, you know.